The left is saying effectively that he's just taken over the government. This is what they would call a hostile takeover. Listen to Jen Psaki.
Because what's happening right now is a hostile takeover of the U.S. government. There's no other way to describe it. It's happening clearly across our justice system, where just a few hours ago, a deadline passed for FBI employees to fill out a questionnaire detailing their involvement in January 6 cases. In other words, they were asked to fill out basically a loyalty test. That comes after an unprecedented purge of the FBI on Friday night, when the Trump administration forced out top FBI career officials, multiple FBI field office leaders, and a number of DOJ prosecutors who worked on January 6th cases. Tonight, I'm going to talk to one of the prosecutors who was fired on Friday. His name is Jake Strubing. He was back at the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. this morning, where he was escorted to his office to pick up his things, drop off his computer, his phone, and his credentials. This is going to be his first interview since he was fired. He has a lot to say, and he's going to be at this table with me in just a moment. But of course, as you all know, it's not just law enforcement where there is a hostile takeover of the government. And it's not a takeover at the hand of Trump alone. I mean, this takeover is also happening at the direction of his unelected best friend, Elon Musk. His latest target was the United States Agency for International Development. And that agency is the one that not only leads on humanitarian assistance around the world, but also works to combat corruption and foreign aid programs. It's a big part of what they do. I kind of see how that could make Elon Musk a bit uncomfortable. So what do you think he did? You may already know. Well, he removed two of the top leaders of the organization who wouldn't do his bidding over the weekend. And then overnight, last night, employees received an email ordering them not to come into the office today. They weren't given a reason or any sort of rationale. They were basically just told not to show up. Many were even blocked from the system and locked out of their email accounts.
Because you see, Elon Musk and Doge are taking a really hard look at U.S. aid, and they're actually going to be just annihilating a whole bunch of programs. Oh, they really, really don't like that over in MSNBC, as you can imagine. In fact, Joy Reid is calling this not just a hostile takeover, but basically the dissolving of democracy in some 20 days.
Over the past 2 weeks, which kind of feels like it's been 2 years, we have learned just how fragile our democracy is and how relatively easy it is for someone who's determined and really well-funded to steal and corrupt it. If you were going to write a playbook for how to steal a democracy in less than 20 days, it would sure look a lot like this.
Not like that, right? Not like the spies that lied, not like the 51X spooks, including the former deputy director of the CIA who actually orchestrated the entire thing. That wasn't like some kind of conspiracy to take over the government, to kick Donald Trump off of Twitter, to kick Donald Trump off of Meta. I mean, you got the Ayatollah there, but no Donald Trump, right? I mean, it takes Elon Musk coming in, buying it, getting rid of 80% of the employees, and redoing the whole thing for actual information to get out. I'm sorry, but you know what? We got to actually have a better starting place than this. 51 rather important people were led by the former deputy director of the CIA and the former Secretary of State, who was at that time pining away, hoping he would get that gig as Secretary of State, working for his big guy, right? The big guy, one Joe Biden. So Antony Blinken teamed up with all these folks. The email just came out yesterday. Actually, we got proof of it. John Brennan saying, yep, add me to the list. This is a great initiative because we're going to need some talking points to follow up on. You know, we got to give the media something. So there was most definitely, it's like this tug of war, like who's going to win? And now, guess what? He came in, he's like, I'm not playing that game anymore. It's over. Your FBI is over. Your U.S. aid is over. Your whole idea that a boy that was born as a boy but then competes as a girl is going to win all the blue ribbons and the scholarships at school, that's over too. Things are going back to normal because we're going to make America great again, right? I mean, isn't that the goal here? Isn't that why people elected him? I do believe it is. Reminder, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff here on the show.